The one thing that I really wanted to highlight, as a lot of you know, YBF is really an organization that really focuses with its values on, pushing kind of really a focus on diversity within the startup sector, and then really focusing on getting, startups to scale, scale-ups to succeed, and, large organizations to innovate and bringing all those together. And this LawTech Hub is just, one of the prime examples of places where that happens. And then for everyone on the call, as we're starting the journey together, really be aggressive in asking for support, input, connections, whatever you think that YBF and L&R and Rogers and the LawTech Hub as an organization and as a program can help you with. Raise your hand. Don't sit back and think it might not be possible, because we found that if we're talking together about all the things that we can get up to together, a lot of stuff is actually possible to do together. So that'd be really exciting. And it's such a diverse group that is coming together here today that I just can't wait to get started. So Stephen, I'll hand it back to you, and hopefully we can do some introductions.
Thanks, Niels. So again, quick intros. So we'll start with, and Sarah's kind of prepped you guys for this, but we'll go around and get to know each of the startups or scale-ups that are joining us as part of our residence. And then later on, we'll kind of follow that up by your internal sponsor that's going to be tagged alongside you for Landers. And then near the end, we'll kind of look at some of our mentors, such as Evan, Andrew, Courtney, and Farley, that are also participating in this program. And then some additional wrap up on what things are happening next by Sarah. So what's old is new again. And Martin had just helped me with, as a blockchain expert in a previous meeting. But we get B next to start the ball rolling. And Abe, Martin, do you want to introduce yourselves and be next?
Sure. How about I go first, and then Abe can follow on with the stuff we're doing with the real estate. So we'll be next. This is our second time around with the LawTech Hub, and we're very excited to be here again. So thank you very much for that opportunity. Our thing is smart legal contracts. We've been doing this for about 2 years or so. So our North Star is that we think that the way contracts are signed these days is just archaic. We've been doing it ever since King John signed the Magna Carta the same way with quill and ink. And okay, there's been some innovation around PDFs and e-signatures and stuff with DocuSign, but they're still dumb contracts. And so our vision is that we want to create a world where contracts are smart. And these contracts are, they combine 3 things: the legalese, the actual words that lawyers love to pore over and get just right. They combine the data, which is the actual, participants, parties, whatever data has to go into a contract, and then the logic, the actual, if this happens, then that thing happens. And so the example I always use is if you're shipping some wine to China, and there's a clause in the agreement that says that the wine can't go above 25 degrees Celsius, then at the moment someone finds out at the port that this has happened, they then find the contract, go through the paperwork and litigate. With a smart contract, this thing could actually be sitting in the cloud, talking to a temperature sensor on the container, and at the moment that thing goes above 25 degrees Celsius, clause 15.1c is invoked automatically. It happens. The parties have signed it digitally. It's immutable, and there's no ifs, ands, and buts. And so it just makes life so much easier. And so we've been working with a technology called the Accord project, which is we think will become the standard for smart legal contracts globally. Companies like DocuSign are involved with this. And we're very excited now to be dealing with our first cab off the rank has been real estate. We have a partnership with the REIV. We're putting their real estate contracts on our platform, and we're very excited to be working with Landers as well on some sale authorities for nationally. So real estate is the beginning, and so we've got a product that's in market, it's got customers, and we're now trying to scale that up. So Abe, I may have stolen most of your thunder. Do you want to go next?
I think you've said it all, mate. It's great. So yeah, we're really excited to be involved in the LawTech Hub again. I was just thinking back to when we were with you guys. It was just before COVID broke, and then everything went a bit crazy. So, but it's nice to be back, and good to see some familiar faces, and look forward to working with you all.
Thank you, Abe and Martin. Simpler times back then. And Lisa Gaddy, who's one of our partners in Rep, couldn't make it, but we also have Andrew Fisher acting as your eternal sponsor. So Andrew, maybe just a quick hello, shout out, and intro.
Sure. My name is Andrew. I'm a junior lawyer in property at the moment, so we're very excited to work with Abe and Martin and Ollie to get the first cab off the rank. And Lisa as well. I won't do too much of her intro. I'm just reading from her LinkedIn because it's probably better than my source of knowledge, but she's worked with all kinds of real estate transactions, and she's very well respected in the field. So we're both very excited to get hands-on and to get stuck in. In fact, we already are getting stuck in with Be Next and take it to the next step. So glad to be here.
Amazing. Andrew, thank you for representing 2 and 1. Next one up. Now I'm going to start to go alphabetical. So we have a few international applicants this year, and I will ask for David, Giles, and Brian to come on off mute and introduce themselves. It's appreciated. It's a start for you guys this morning.
No worries at all. Hi, everybody. Thank you very much, Stephen. I'll sort of hand over to Brian in a sec, but I'll give you a little bit of background about me and about Avoca before I do so. Yeah, so I'm Giles. I'm head of growth here at Avoca. I'm a former lawyer at Herbert Smith Freehills and Kirkland & Ellis as well. And what Avoca does, well, you can probably tell from my accent that we started off in London, but we're now international, not least because of this fantastic opportunity, but also because Brian is based in APAC, but I'll let him tell you a bit more about that already. And so what we do is we're an online-based document automation platform, and what we do is we encompass the end-to-end document or contracting process, generally speaking. And so that's everything from helping people with create automated first draft documents to online document negotiation and then subsequent data analytics. And our sort of real philosophy, which differentiates us from others in the market, is that we want to put control of document automation back into the hands of the people who actually know those documents best. So we've made it sort of super intuitive as well as very powerful to use our platform. So you can automate a couple of page NDA or a really long loan agreement as well. And absolutely, we've achieved that aim. So of our clients, who include sort of Baker McKenzie, Allen & Overy, McDonald's, Booking.com, those kinds of organizations, they all now have sort of automation as a skill that their lawyers and actually in some cases their commercial negotiators have sort of at their I guess disposal. And so they've just to go in a little bit more detail, the 5 sort of key elements of the platform that cover the sort of whole range of the document automation process are sort of automation, where our clients take their standard documents, designate the parts of those documents they want to be custom, to create a questionnaire, which then gets answered by the end user, whether that's a lawyer or a commercial person, to draft that document in seconds. We also have a sort of collaboration part of the platform, so it's a little bit like Google Docs, but with some lawyer practicalities built in, where people can negotiate together, collaborate together in real time on one online document, and also actually do things like tag and assign tasks to people within those documents. And also, then we allow people to, avoid email ping pong and to negotiate via the online platform as well. But obviously, unlike Google Docs or Word Online, you don't have both sides seeing the same document at the same time. We also allow people to sort of execute on the platform as well. So very interested to hear some of the stuff that was just being said about that. So that might be an interesting conversation to be had in future about sort of our e-signature capability. And then our analytics. Well, in short, basically you can track which parts of your contracts are or documents are typically getting negotiated the most across your contract suite to help you improve. But also you can find what you actually agreed to 2 months later, which it is, you know, a very manual process at the moment for most people. So yeah, that gives you a little bit of an overview, but I'll pass over to Brian now to sort of give a bit of a hit, maybe some of the stuff I've missed, but also hit his background to the call as well.
Thanks very much, Giles. Great to meet everybody. I'm Brian. So I guess my role at Voca is that I head up our APAC office. So, you know, I was just sent down sort of mid-2019 to help set up the office. I'm based in Singapore, so I guess a few hours away from the Australian time zone. But, you know, it's been a real sort of interesting process reaching out to the Australian clients and trying to get sort of a foothold in the region. I headed up our sort of engagement with the Allen's sort of Optus Legal Accelerator a couple months ago. And it was a sort of really exciting program for us. And, you know, I'm sure the Landers program will be even better. So I'm really excited to be working with everybody. And, you know, I mean, as far as sort of functionality on the platform goes, you know, Giles did a really, really good sort of overview. I think, you know, from my personal background, I'm a bit more on the technical side. So things like your integrations, on-site installations, and, you know, your API stuff. So that's sort of my area of expertise. But, you know, we'll both be able to cover all the questions on the platform. So yeah, really excited to be working with everybody.
Yeah, actually, look, I forgot to mention a couple of things that are sort of notable and that might be interesting to other people in the cohort as well. So we've just launched a product with iManage recently, focused on repapering in the last sort of week. And I know that the APLMA is the sort of primary publisher of finance standard docs and loan docs in your region, but we've actually just launched a product with the Loan Market Association, sort of who sort of EMEA based. So yeah, if that sort of rings a bell for anybody, I would happily chat more about that too.
Excellent. Thank you, guys. And I will now introduce your internal sponsor. So Tim, who's also one of our newer members to our Landers family, I'll let you take it away.
Thanks, Stephen. Yeah, so my name's Tim McDonald. Really great to hear that intro, Giles and Brian, really exciting stuff. So I've been at Landers for just over 3 weeks, so very fresh on the ground. I'm a partner in the real estate and projects team. I'm here to drive the growth of the construction practice. But really what's drawn me to Landers is really the leadership in this space, being able to participate in these sorts of initiatives, and the leadership from Genevieve. A month ago, up to a month ago, I was the GC at Lend-Lease, so I looked after the construction businesses in Australia, which is multiple businesses, very complex, you know, a very chaotic, interesting role. And I guess in my role, I became quite addicted to innovation and driving efficiencies through use of tech. So for the last 4 years, I pitched and then built out an automated procurement system for Lend-Lease to automate all of their subcontracts at project level, which achieved scale in Australia and is now mandatory on their projects. So in terms of document and process automation, e-signature, I absolutely love this stuff. So really excited to be involved, which is, yeah, just fantastic. And whilst I'll be driving construction practice, innovation will be absolutely be at the core of that. Yeah, a member of my team who just joined today, he's a fantastic lawyer, but he's also a document coder. So I just think that's the world we're in now and we're headed towards, and achieving maturity. So that's super exciting. Glad to be here.
Excellent, thank you. And then for those of you curious, well, what does this all look like? We're just a little bit later down the road, and Sarah will kind of talk about it. We'll do a bit of a showcase for everyone for the firm, so you can see what the tools may look like, or what the products look like as well. Next up, I'm going to ask Shavin to come on and talk about how you build your will.
Hey everyone, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. So my name's Shavin and I'm the founder of Build My Will. So we're a free will making service that helps people make a simple will for free and easily leave a gift to charity if they would so choose. So a bit of background about myself. During university, I worked on a bunch of startups, But what was probably the highlight was working at a community legal centre called Kingsford Legal Centre, which some of you might be familiar with. And while they're sort of manning the phones, we got a lot of calls basically asking for help with wills. And that was a service that we were unable to really provide any help with. And we'd basically be left to sort of send people off to sort of paid lawyers, and particularly given the clientele that we had, we basically received a lot of feedback that people were not going to those lawyers. And so speaking to the professors at the university who were quite interested in this space, the conclusion was that basically half of the population was priced out of making wills, or they were just too intimidated by the process. And to me, this seemed like a really obvious thing that technology could solve in 2020. Probably should have been solved 15 years ago. But I think, yeah, so I basically got quite sort of passionate about this, and I thought this is something that should definitely be free. And so I spent some time traveling around the United States and came across a company over there that was doing a similar thing. And sort of beyond just making the wills free, they were also finding a way to help charities raise money through gifts in wills. And that model was just operating great because, number one, people were attracted to this idea of the free concept, and charities were also able to distribute the product to their donor base. So it solved that sort of distribution problem. But beyond that, I think within the past 3 years, they'd raised something like $2.5 billion in bequest commitments. So basically every charity in America was using this service. And so coming back to Australia, I kind of looked around, no one was doing anything remotely close. The closest thing were these sort of $200 wills that were, automated, but you paid $200 for it. And so, yeah, I set about sort of building this product. And from there, we've had sort of a fair bit of traction. We're still quite early, but we've had the Hunger Project come on with us, the Orangutan Project, and we just got sort of confirmation that the Heart Foundation are interested in doing a trial with us. So that was quite exciting. So yeah, I think we're still quite early stage, but the ultimate vision is that this should be the way that everyone in Australia starts the process of making their will. And the idea is obviously for more complex wills, you're still going to need to see a lawyer, but just sort of starting that process, getting your wishes down, and then us being able to say, since you've made sort of 50% of the will or 80% of the will, you've just got to get a few extra clauses. We can send you off to another lawyer and you'll get a discounted service because you've come through us. So that is the ultimate vision, to sort of really cut down that number of Australian adults who don't have wills. It's something like 10 million, 50% of adults. So that is our broader mission, and why not raise money for charity while you're at it? So that's us.
And I can tell you, as an early previewer, it's better than my supermarket will. So it's not that early stage, but it's definitely good and definitely worthwhile access to justice cause. With that, I will pass it over to Maggie next, who is our senior associate sponsor from Family.
Thanks, Stephen. Not a senior associate yet. It's not official till 1 July. But I am a solicitor in our family and relationship law group. I should say my name's Maggie Quash. The family and relationship law group in Landers is the largest family law practice in Australia, and I'm really proud to say that because being a solicitor in this group has actually given me the opportunity to pursue an interest that has always been there for me, which is the legal innovation space. So I recently stepped in also as the National Innovation Manager for the Family and Relationship Law Group. And in this role, what I really get to do is explore, manage, and also implement the new processes and applications with a view to sort of advancing the efficiencies and the innovation, like sort of this idea of innovation across the group, internally as well as for clients. And as most of you would probably expect, the clients that our group comes across, they come from all different walks of life, and we work with clients across the whole spectrum of the relationship. So I like to call it cradle to grave. So from the start of the relationship all the way to the end of the relationship. And often what that means is there are wills issues at play as well. So I'm really excited to be exploring how we can better service our clients with Shaveen. And yeah, excited to have you on board and excited to hear about every other tenant's ideas and how that will be developed in the LawTech Hub.
Excellent. Thank you, Maggie. I think I saw Mick join us alongside Chelsea. So take it over to digital next.
Hi, everyone. Sorry it's a bit late. I had to pick up my kids, but raining in Canberra. So thanks for having me, and thanks for having Chelsea as well. She's on here too, and I might get her to introduce in a minute. But we're from InDigital. I'm the CEO and founder. I'm a Cabrogal woman. So my country is the Darug country in Sydney, Georges River and Liverpool areas. And we founded InDigital before we started in 2012, we founded the company in 2014 to create Indigenous augmented and mixed reality storytelling. So the idea is that you hold your mobile phone over a cultural place and our elders appear in holographic format and share the story with you in language and law, and telling the right stories for the right reasons, the right time at the right place by the right people, and having an economic model built around that for our mobs. We pivoted to an edutech company in 2018 because it became apparent that people want to tell stories this way and I couldn't do it for everyone. So we decided to just teach others. We also do a lot of R&D work around holographic content and embedding machine learning into holograms, with the view that you'll be able to ask our elders in holographic format questions about Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander histories in this country, and also use it as an opportunity to learn language that's pre-programmed. So a lot of our language is non-verbal, so there's a lot of facial expressions and hand gestures, and holograms are just a great way to do that. But we've been expanding our program in digital schools, which is the edutech side. We've reached over 1,000 kids and over 31 schools, and we're just starting to build some really big partnerships at the departmental level in the Catholic education sector and also in the public sector. And we've also started some pilots internationally in Canada. We're about to work in New Zealand and potentially with the Indo-Aris people in Kenya as well. We're looking forward to being part of the LawTech Hub. We're probably a little bit different to everyone else in that we're looking to build our solution on blockchain with smart contracts and potentially NFTs that allow our communities to protect our cultural knowledge, language and law in the digital space, while being able to earn revenue from being holders of that cultural knowledge and law. So, yeah, pass over to Chelsea maybe quickly. Chelsea wants to say something.
Sure. I'm Chelsea. I'm a proud Kaurna Ngarrindjeri woman from Adelaide, and I'm coming from Bunurong country here in Victoria. I'm the Business Development and Partnership Manager working with Mick. And I think one of the only things I wanted to add to what Mick said, because she always does an awesome introduction of the company, is just one of our missions here at InDigital is to close the digital divide between Indigenous and non-Indigenous people across the globe. Obviously starting on our own land here in Australia, and which is one of the reasons why Mick did start up the business as an edutech company working with kids. We're also pivoting a little bit with the program that we run in schools. We've sort of molded it slightly to a corporate offering. So we're working with big people as well as little people to teach these digital skills, but also in a cultural way. So yeah, that's all I wanted to add to what Mick had to say.
Thanks, Charles.
Thank you, Mick and Chelsea. And it's been amazing to see actually their product at work, because all the buzzwords that you hear about in the papers, they're actually, it's a reality. I've seen it on an app, seen it in person, so it's really exciting to see. Joe, as the internal sponsor, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, yes. Hi, everyone. I'm also joining you all from Bunurong country. For those of you who are not Melbourne based, it's one of the mobs in the Kulin Nation, but sort of more south of the Yarra River. I'm very privileged to be on this country. I was really excited when I first met Mick and Chelsea through Stephen. I wasn't really sure what to expect, and like Maggie, my role at the firm is as partner of Pro Bono Community and Environment, but one of the fabulous elements of having an interest in innovation and being at a law firm like Landers is that we get exposed to a whole lot of other aspects that might not have been anticipated when we joined the firm. And so I was really blown away by the possibility of in Digital to really enact self-determination in a way that I hadn't seen before, about what they're doing to really enable First Nations people in our country to protect and tell their own story, and really educate those of us who have missed out on so much knowledge and culture. And so from that meeting, I think my role really is almost like a matchmaker, whether it's legal advice, whether it's connecting in Digital into some of our other networks through the firm in terms of what I would call frontier law, sort of understanding how the law is going to need to respond to some of the technical needs of companies and organisations. Most of you probably understand that when you're on the frontiers, the law is often well behind some of the regulation or the understandings. And so I'm really excited to be able to be part of the welcoming committee for Digital, and I really hope that all of you on this call will be able to share your knowledge and experience with one another, and really start to grow and develop some of these plans that you have.
Thanks, Phil.
Thank you.
Awesome. So thanks, Jo. She's, Jo is probably one of the best connected in our firm. So I think you guys are in good hands. Over to Sinkley next. So Stu and Chris, do you guys want to do a quick intro?
Cool, thank you. Hi everybody, my name's Stu. Chris, my other partner in crime, and I have bring together sort of about 25 years experience, even though I only look about 21 years old, I know. In the document management / content management space, so right, we're geeks. And I think our product really sort of took shape only about 6 months ago. So hearing all you guys and your journey and how far down the track you are in terms of current clients and already the product developed, we're sort of a lot earlier along that journey. Though hopefully with the help of everybody on this call and Landers and the LawTech Hub more generally, we can kind of speed that process up. We're looking to launch in about a month's time. No pressure, Chris. Sinkley is a data synchronization platform. I said we were geeks. So it's literally about sort of helping large organizations that have multiple technology systems across their firm, and the common denominator often along that is a document, but also that data can extend out to more structured stuff around databases and so on. And more often than not, if I take a document as an example, that document has to move in and out of multiple systems, starts its life in Microsoft Word, goes into a document management system, goes out to a collaboration system, goes out to a contract analytic platform, you name it. So we're trying to sort of provide a middle piece to all of that with a bunch of connectors, and really become your, I don't know if anyone's ever played around with if this then that for home automation at stuff at home, turn your lights on when you drive on the garage. It's kind of the if this then that for professional service firms or large organizations that have a lot of those systems that need to be connected. And that's Sinkley in a bit of a nutshell. So thank you guys for having us. We were pretty late to the party and you guys worked really quickly. So thank you. I'll hand over to Chris to say quick g'day.
Yeah, thanks, Stu. Hey, everyone. It's very exciting to be here. Looking forward to working with everybody. I mean, our journey started some 10 years ago, didn't it, Stu, in London?
Yep.
It was quite interesting. You know, our careers have intertwined over the years, and it's we finally come together and actually started something. I've been a technical consultant in the legal industry for the best part of the last decade, working independently. So I've had the benefit of looking and working with a lot of the systems within your typical law firm, and there's definitely some good opportunities out there for us, and we're looking forward to advancing those.
Great. Thanks, Stu and Chris. Your internal sponsor, who's Manoj, who can make it. I'll give a brief introduction to him. He's our head of infrastructure and cybersecurity, mediocre golfer, sore loser, but a security expert.
Yes.
And he's pretty much our kind of head in command and for all things security, and will be the ones that are working with Chris and Stu most closely.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Excellent. So I'm going to pass it over next to our roster of mentors. So these are seasoned professionals, know what they're doing, have different areas of expertise, which they'll kind of elaborate themselves. I'll let you guys do a quick introduction on yourselves and what I think they may be able to reach out to you for. So I will take it to Evan first. Evan, if you want to hold up the phone.
Hello, has my video popped up? Thanks, Stephen. So really excited, guys. I've been a mentor of this program. This would be my second year now, I would say, or maybe even third, maybe it's second. Can't remember, hard to tell time. But my name is Evan Wong. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Checkbox. And effectively what we are is a no-code platform for legal. So we empower legal teams to be able to take what they understand really well, which is the processes and the understanding of the legal content, and actually build software applications to better serve their clients, whether that is internal clients, if you're working in general counsel, the general public, if you're working in, say, a not-for-profit, or your clients if you're working in private practice. To give you a sense of our scale as well, so we started 5 years ago. We're celebrating our 5 years at the end of this month, in a few days actually, which is going to be a huge business milestone. Australian born, founded in 2016, and now we have customers like Telstra, Coca-Cola, Woolworths, and many other great brands in Australia. We also work with the Singapore government and many of the other statutory boards in the Singapore market there as well, within the legal sphere. We have Air New Zealand in New Zealand. We have companies like Align, like Invisalign out of the US, who are customers as well. And everyone is using Checkbox to drag and drop and build their own software to better deliver legal services. We also have amazing partners. So Land & Rogers is one of our customers and partners as well. So a lot of Landers people would use Checkbox to build applications for their clients, and other partners like PwC as well. We also work with a lot of not-for-profits and universities. So working with like Monash, UWA, UNSW, UTS, they all use Checkbox as part of their curriculum to teach lawyers to actually, well, law students, sorry, to actually engage with technology and put their learning into practice. And typically that's partnered with not-for-profits as well. And so we have a raft of different not-for-profits here in Australia, as well as in Singapore, who are using the applications free of charge on pro bono licenses for us. So in essence, I have a lot of experience starting from 0 to 1, and 1 to maybe where we are now, which is like 1.5, if I'm measuring the journey from 1 to 10 to becoming a billion-dollar company. You can reach out to me for all expertise around selling to law firms, selling to in-house counsel, selling to government, designing pricing structures, setting up teams, management, really just anything that you think a founder of a legal tech would know. I hopefully will have the capability to shed some light on that, and have a lot of empathy for building a startup company, and one in particular in the legal industry.
Excellent. Thank you, Evan. And by no means did we leverage that relationship of ours to get you on as a mentor.
No.
I will next pass it over to Andrew. Andrew joins us. You're on mute.
Hey everyone, how you doing? So my name is Andrew Hay, and I'm actually acting as an independent, and calling it that because I currently work at Thomson Reuters. It's not a Thomson Reuters sponsored sort of event, but I've got a big interest in this area and sort of startups as a whole. And I was actually introduced to Stephen through a previous resident, being Shirley at Alka. We're sort of dealing with some of her team, just in some discussions as well as others as well. But my current role, I guess, even though I'm an independent, is so I lead our proposition team for our software business in Asia and emerging markets. So that's basically ANZ, Asia, Middle East, Russia, and Africa. So I guess probably about a third of the world for our software part of the business, which is pretty much all software for corporates, legal, tax and accounting professionals. Been at TR around 10 years or so. So proposition, product management, services, pre-sales, and about 8 years at PwC before coming to TR. I did one quick thing. So I haven't just done, come in and with existing products at TR. Came across as part of a transaction to basically start a new business here at TR, and sort of built that, scaled it, and had about 2.5 years or so in our New York office to actually move from basically 2 countries to 43 for that product line, which is I found really interesting. So hopefully I can bring some sort of benefit to the people here on the call. My background is basically being B2B SaaS offerings. Again, happy to help anyone in pretty much anything for a discussion, but go to market is my big thing. So value proposition, sales process, launching, etc. And things like partnerships and strategic alliances, whether that be with third parties selling or actually partnering with a customer who almost pre-buys and builds out your roadmap, and then just simple roadmap and prioritization sort of things. So that's me in a nutshell, and a pleasure to be here.
Great, thank you, Andrew. So we have someone like Evan who's got 0 to warp speed into a scale-up model, and then we have Andrew who goes from behemoth to monopoly. So full at both ends of the scale covered. Over to you, Courtney, next. Oh, you.
I'm unmuted now. Hello, everybody. My name is Courtney Blackman, and I am the Chief Marketing Officer at YBF. I'm very excited to see some returning faces to the LawTech Hub this time round, and to welcome new faces. So welcome everybody that's new. So at YBF, I'm responsible for all the communications, events, content, etc. Prior to that, I worked mostly in the creative media spaces in the UK. So ran a few PR company, edited a magazine, worked in television, did kind of a whole gambit of stuff, and even exited a couple of those startups. So I'm on hand to be a mentor if you need any help with communications, content, media, etc. I am your person, so don't be shy to reach out. This is my second time being a mentor, but I've obviously been involved with the LawTech Hub since its inception. So welcome again to everybody, and look forward to getting to know you and working with you.
Thanks, Courtney. And last but not least, I'll take it over to Farley.
Thanks, Stephen. Hi, everyone. I'm Farley Blackman. I'm the CEO of YBF. My background's actually really big company, so I've served senior executive roles in GE, BP, and Motorola. 15 years in the UK. Before that, India, China, and the States. I came in as the CEO of YBF about 3.5 years ago. My expertise, I guess, if I have one, is around driving change and innovation at really big corporates. I've led technology organizations. I was chief procurement officer for BP, British Petroleum, and I created and ran the internal consultancy for BP as well. So I guess my secret skill, if there is one, it would be to help companies to innovate and to grow, and do that by engaging startups and scale-ups. So bringing those two disparate groups that often don't work well together without a conscious intervention, kind of helping to form all the intermediary gears that allow those two different organization types to work together. And I'm absolutely happy to help in any way that I can, whether it be from a procurement focus on dealing with big companies, or whether it be engaging with big companies in a unique way that doesn't that helps you, doesn't kill you as a small company. Look forward to working with all you guys. Feel free to reach out at any time. Thanks.
Great, thank you. So we have Niels, who you kind of met earlier, Courtney and Farley, who really are the most of the brain power behind YBF and their success, and really our partnership with them, which makes this LawTech Hub really fruitful and work. So thank you for everyone's introduction from the residents. Really looking forward to hearing more about you and seeing you kind of showcase your products. Really, use not just each other, but like our mentors to leverage their knowledge, wisdom, and power. I'm going to open it up for questions. So feel free to type away things in the chat if you have any other questions. Meanwhile, I will get Sarah to help us out and talk about kind of next steps and what's coming up. So let me steal the screen for a minute.
While Stephen's getting his screen loaded, I just thought I'd introduce myself. I'm the marketing manager for the iHub, and I work closely with Stephen and Michelle to deliver the LawTech Hub program and ensure that our residents get as much from the program as possible. So we're really excited to have everyone on board. I'll be a close point of contact for you across the journey, and I'm looking forward to working with you. There's a bit coming up with the program, so I just wanted to quickly outline what is coming up next. First off, we have the wish list sessions, which are individual sessions, which are really important in helping us to understand what you want to get out of your time in the LawTech Hub, and they allow us to tailor your program specifically to meet your needs so that it's as meaningful as possible for you. In addition to wish lists, we have introducing our LawTech Hub partner sessions, and these sessions are designed specifically to raise awareness of important topics startups generally need to be mindful of, including risks and insurance, accounting, patents, and legal issues. So we've got Marsh and William Buck on the 20th of July, and Aperian Law and FB Rice on the 8th of July. So please do come along to those sessions. And we have our drop-in sessions kicking off on the 1st of June. So these drop-in sessions are an opportunity just to pop in on an as-need basis to discuss ideas, connect, or simply have a chat, ask questions. They occur fortnightly and they'll be hosted by Michelle and Stephen. So we look forward to seeing you there. And also you've met all of our very welcoming and knowledgeable mentors today. So the next step with that relationship is to just reach out to one of those mentors that you feel like would help you on with your progress, and all their details and bios are on the resident website. So jump onto the website. There's a lot of information on there, including our partners, our mentors, the program, a little bit more about each of our residents, and ways to connect. Also, I have put a little poll into the chat, as we're really interested to hear what is your preferred method of communication. So if you get a chance, please do just vote quickly for your preferred method so that we can ensure that we're connecting with you in your preferred way. And so, yeah, that was it from me. But thanks everyone for joining today. Oh, there was one last thing. I haven't sent out the dates as yet, but we are working with YBF to do a LawTech Hub showcase. The date tentatively is the 27th of July, and this is a great opportunity for our residents to showcase their businesses to our firm more broadly and our YBF community, so that our people and the YBF community have an opportunity to learn more about each of our residents and to facilitate those connections. So hopefully you can join us for that session as well. But that's it from me. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Sarah. I think it's emailed by a landslide so far in the polls. So most importantly, as I think Sarah will keep this LawTech Hub webpage up to date to make sure you can check there, and that'll have all the latest updates for dates, things that are coming up, as well as email that we'll send out to you guys. So before I kind of ask Genevieve to close, again, throwing out there, any questions, please toss it in the chat. But just, thank you all for making the time to join us. It's fantastic to hear about all the wonderful products, things that we're going to put together as part of this LawTech Hub cohort. There's many who didn't get to introduce themselves, such as Michelle, who's on the call, who's hiding away from the spotlight, and like Simon Davidson, who couldn't make it today, but you'll meet them in due course. All right, so maybe, Evan, and Genevieve, if there's any kind of last imparting words you want to give us.
Thanks, Steve. Can I just say how interesting it is to hear your innovation stories and all about your platforms? It's amazing, really clever and practical and varied technology. So look, it's a really exciting time for all of us, and we're delighted to have you on board, and we appreciate your enthusiasm. So I just would like to take a moment to recognise and thank everyone involved in this initiative. Firstly, to our generous mentors, Evan from Checkbox and our independent member, Andrew, to Farley, Niels and Courtney from YBF, to our Landers sponsors who you've met today, Lisa, Andrew, Manny, Maggie, Joe and Tim. And of course, to our wonderful Landers team, Michelle, Stephen and Sarah, thank you so much for what you've done and what you bring to the program. We really appreciate it. So Stephen's outlined next steps. I think it just leaves it to me to wish you a really happy, worthwhile and productive experience as a resident of the LawTech Hub, and to thank you again for joining us today.
Thanks, Genevieve.
Great. Thank you, Genevieve.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
See you. Bye.
See you. Bye, everyone.
Bye. See ya.